I don't know if I have a style. That's a good question. I don't really, somebody else might say I do. But for me, I always feel like I'm more of I'm a set of tools that I want the person I'm working with to be able to utilize to achieve what they want. I don't have a lot of ego that gets wrapped up in like being attached to, even if I have really strong opinions about font choice or whatever. My job isn't to put my tastes onto the client. It's to basically help them get the best outcome that they want. With some smattering of my taste in there. And there'll be times when I'll express an opinion, that I think is important. I think when we worked on this project, I really liked keeping the black border a little bigger. I thought it was a good thing to emphasize. I think the slight vignetting in the photograph is something that I felt important to keep because I felt like it fit the mood. But really, I like to let the people I'm working with be the biggest guide when it comes to that, and just to apply my skill set, which is trying to make things look good graphically, like having good balance and doing good aesthetic choices and things like that. That technique sort of manifested in a 45 different versions. And that was even after we had sort of decided on a photograph that was going to be the main subject, but we still went through a lot of versions. And so for me, it's kind of like casting a really wide net, like making a lot of variations, and then giving the option to look at those various choices and then sort of funnel from there. So we sort of then cut things down, call things out, um, into a product that you and I are both happy with. But really, predominantly, I just want you to be happy with, you being the artist or the musician or whatever. That orange sort of burned sky gradient to it, I think was a huge deal. Like when we got that nailed and we played with that, and I think I just thrown that out there as an idea and just done it off a whim. And it was like we locked into something and it was like, oh, it's perfect. Like that kind of works with the aesthetic. The Set Aflame kind of gives it a, good license. But I initially started with the drive for a monochrome, a black and white image. And it was Neil that said, "Hey, can we try color?" And then we tried, a muted color palette because I felt like the muted tone was going to work better with the music. But then as we started to play with it and as I started to listen to the music, it was like, oh man, the vibrancy, like pumping up the saturation of the colors really fit in a way that I was surprised by, because I've been listening to the music and the vibe and the feel I got from it was this one direction, which was monochrome, maybe a muted color palette, and then we started playing with a vibrant color palette, and it was like it locked in place. I didn't think I was going to get to do this project because I wanted to support Pickle in going in a direction that felt right for him, and doing design work with one of your best friends, that could be potentially fraught. And so, honestly, I thought I was just going to provide the image and he would figure out, or he would design it, or he would work for somebody else, which I totally get. And I was really sort of anxiously hoping that he would come back and say, "Hey, you want to help me with the cover?" Because I really wanted to work on it. I'd loved working on his previous Primary Reasons album, and so I was grateful that he said, "Hey, let's work on this," and I was like, "Yes."